Hello friends, welcome or welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Olivia and today we are finishing book series that I am in the middle of. Now, I don't think I'm in the middle of like a heinous amount of book series, but to be fair, I did not count, I did not check. All I know is that it's a lot. And the reason that I decided to do this video is in my June TBR video, the TBR wheel selected, I think like 4 books from series that I am right smack in the middle of. And so I thought it would be fun to do this video because I can read the books on my TBR, but also get through some series. And there's 3 books, 3 options that we're gonna be working with today that I have narrowed down. I'm not exactly sure which ones we're gonna get to in this video, but I will share the options nonetheless. First up, we have Queen of Shadows by Sarah J. Maas. Then we have A Gathering of Shadows by V.E. Schwab. And the third one was Powerful by Lauren Roberts. All in the middle of series. Also all fantasy, which, am I in the mood for fantasy? Not really, but I better be. I think once I start, I'll be in the mood. I've just been reading a lot of light and fun, like fluffy romances, and that's been really enjoyable too. Anyway, I digress. I don't think I know. The first book that we're going to be reading for sure in this video is the only one that I physically own. And that book, drumroll please, Queen of Shadows by the Queen herself, Sarah J. Maas. This is a chunker. This book, I don't want to spoil anything for myself. This book is 648 pages long. Oh, it's gonna be okay. Maybe I'll do Powerful after this because that's like shorter. I'm gonna get into this and I will see you guys when I have an update.
You recording right now?
Yeah, I'm just getting me reading this. I'm a little scared because it's so big. I haven't really been in the mood for fantasy, but I feel like once I start this, I'll be back. I've finally made a hefty dent in Queen of Shadows by Sarah J. Maas, so I felt like I should come on and update you all on my progress, give some initial opinions on this book. So I think I said earlier, this book is about 650 pages long, and right now I'm on page 146. So it already feels like I've been reading this book for a little while, and yet it doesn't really look like I've made a ton of progress, which is fine. I feel like you really do get out what you put in with a lot of fantasy books like this. Because this is the 5th book, I can't say too much about it just because I do not want to spoil anything. For context, this series follows a world famous assassin named Selena. And in the first book, we see her getting taken out of these mines. She is a slave and taken to the castle, the palace in this world, and asked to do some very intriguing things that involve trials. And I love trials in books. It's like one of my favorite things. And then throughout the 8-book series, it really just, the world expands so much. You meet so many new characters. And so at this point in the series, we are reading already from so many different perspectives, and there's so many like different things going on at the same time. And I feel like for the most part, I really enjoy that. I will say though, when authors do decide, especially in fantasy book, to include a bunch of different POVs, you run the risk of readers not fully enjoying every single POV. So for me, like in this case, I'm definitely enjoying some of our characters' perspectives more than others. For example, I love reading from Selena's perspective in this book, but some of the other characters, I'm not as interested in their plotline and their story, but I've read other series by Sarah J. Maas, and I know that every single thing she does has a purpose. I am so confident that the characters whose perspective I'm reading from, that I'm not maybe fully engrossed or as interested in their plotline, I'm sure that it's going to have some crazy way of being connected to the bigger story and plot and world in a way that I literally can't fathom right now, which is wild. I do also feel like this has the potential to be one of my favorite books in the series. So this is technically the 4th book, but there is a prequel. So if you include the prequel, this becomes the 5th book, I think. Is that right? Oh, they're right here. Yeah. If you include the prequel, this becomes the 5th book. And I've actually only given one book in this series 5 stars so far, and that is The Assassin's Blade, the prequel. I do feel like this has potential to be very, very high. So yeah, I'm enjoying this book so much. It is so long though, so I'm just trying not to put too much pressure on myself to read this super quickly. So it might take a good chunk of June to get through this. I feel like, we have like a week left of June. And I definitely think this is gonna take me longer than a week to finish, but we're gonna do our best. I'm gonna try my absolute best, and I'll probably update you guys when I'm halfway or further than halfway. Please don't mind all the chaos behind me. I did just finish filming my mid-year tag, so if you guys want to see that video, I think it should already be out by the time this video goes up, I think. So I'll link that in the description box down below if you're interested. But yeah, don't mind all of this chaos. I wanted to come on and give a little bit of a Queen of Shadows update because I'm now over halfway. I have concrete opinions. I'm on page 402. No idea what percent that is, but you can hopefully see approximately how far in I am. And I'm really, really enjoying this book. I really do feel like this has the potential to be either tied for top spot or my favorite book in the series. There have been multiple times when my jaw has just like dropped on the floor. Like, I wish I was recording in those moments because I'm literally like gasping for breath. Like, my hand is coming straight up to my mouth, making audible sounds and reactions. And books don't always do that to me. I also feel like as this book is progressing, I'm enjoying all of the POVs more and more. So the ones that I wasn't enjoying as much earlier on in the book, there have been a few twists here and there and things that I just did not see coming that now I'm starting to appreciate their perspectives even more, which I think I might have said that I had a feeling that that might happen. Also, the thing with Sarah J Maas is like, I love all these characters and I want everyone to be okay, but I don't know if that's gonna happen. My heart has been shattered by her before, and I don't have a lot of faith that that's not gonna happen again in this one. Also, last thing to mention, this book is super chunky, so to keep myself accountable, I've been trying to read about 50 pages a day, which as a full-time girl who is working, that is difficult to achieve, but I've been so far mostly hitting it, and so I don't want this video to make it look like I'm just flying through books left and right. I do read consistently, but books like this do take me a long time to finish. I think though that's gonna be my last update before the end of the book. So I'm gonna get to this and then I'll see you guys pretty soon. Hello everyone, it's been a little while since I picked up my camera for this video. I actually spent the last week in Oregon and I read an entire book while I was there. So I want to update you guys on my final opinions of Queen of Shadows because I did finish this before I left. And then I literally read an entire book when I was there. So yeah, we have some stuff to catch up on. First things first, this book was so freaking good. I don't even know where to start. It was so good. This, I think what I really, really loved about this story, especially as we got towards the end, is throughout this book and a few books leading up to it in the series, we're following a lot of different characters, but you don't always know how those characters are connected to each other. And without spoilers, a lot of all these different POVs that we've been following overlap and come together at the end of this book. My adrenaline was just absolutely pumping, and it was so cool to see all these characters who I understand as individuals in their own story to then become all connected in this book. I loved it so much. I gave this book 5 stars. Yeah, this is my third 5-star of the year so far, and 2 of the 5 stars have been in the Throne of Glass series. So yeah, this book was like perfect in my opinion. And all that slow build up in the beginning was totally worth it at the end. The payoff was just so high. Next up though, I do have the tandem read. Yeah, I said that. What, 1,000 plus pages of the tandem read, so pray for me. I don't think I'm going to do those yet. Yeah, I have some other books on my physical TBR that I need to get through first. But the other book review that I wanted to just throw into this video, because I did continue series while in Oregon. I read the next book in the Chestnut Spring series by Elsie Silver. I read Reckless, and this is book 4, and it's a cowboy romance that follows Theo and Winter, and plot twist. Guys, did not see this coming. Really did not see this coming. It was my favorite book in the Chestnut Spring series so far. If you're at all familiar with this series, we learn very early on that Winter, the female character, the female main character in this book, she's kind of like, she is just not nice throughout the whole series. And so I was really curious to see what it would be like to get to her book. And also, this is a surprise pregnancy book, like that's very clear from the beginning. And in the author's note, there's discussions about like infertility and miscarriage and like unexpected pregnancy. I think like Elsie Silver literally says that right at the beginning. So these are not spoilers, just discussions that you know are going to come up in the book. And I felt like this one had the most depth. I feel like I really connected with Winter and Theo so much. I don't know, it was just my favorite book in the series so far. And yeah, I wanted to include it in this video because I am now 1 book away from finishing that series. And also just reading it in Oregon, surrounded by like beautiful green trees and like creeks and stuff. It was just, the vibes were so good. So yeah, I really loved that book. I think that's all for me right now. I'm going to update you guys a little bit later with the 3rd and final book that I'm going to be reading for this video. But I will say things have taken a bit of a turn from my original reading plans at the beginning of this video. Yeah, sorry about that. It was not the plan. But it's a new month, which means there's a new TBR. So just, you know, some books from last month are getting left in last month, and I'm so sorry. So yeah, I'm gonna update you guys in just a little bit, and we'll start my next read. The next book that I am going to be reading for this video is a Kindle Unlimited read, and it's a book that I have been putting off for literally almost a year now. And there wasn't like a reason necessarily that I was putting it off. I just, for some reason, it never sounded better than my other options, which sounds terrible, but enough procrastinating. The book that I have now started is Things We Hide from the Light by Lucy Score. If you guys know, you know. You're gonna be so proud of me that I'm finally getting to this book. And when I was coming back from Oregon and on my plane, there was literally only 1 book downloaded. And it was that one. So the universe had a plan in mind for me to continue this book series. This is another small town romance. It's the 2nd book in the Knock 'Em Out trilogy. I read the first one, like I said, about a year ago now, almost. I actually have a reading vlog from when I read Things We Hide from the Light that I'll link in the description if you guys are interested in that. But this is the second book, which also means when I finish this, I'm only gonna have one more left to go. I'm reading it on my Kindle. I am currently, let's see, actually, I don't remember how far into this book I am. I'm currently 31% of the way through, which if you guys are familiar with Lucy Score, her books are chunky. This one, oh, it doesn't want to tell me. I think it's 576 pages long. So she's a chunker. And so far I'm liking it, but I'm not loving it. This book follows the story of Nash and Lena. Nash is a cop for this small town, and something happens to him in the first book. I'm not going to say what. And he is dealing with some consequences of what happened to him in the first book. We watch him experiencing a lot of anxiety, I would say borderline depression. And then we also have this character, Lena, who is just this wild, spunky, rambunctious girl. And we know right from the beginning that she has a job to do in this town, but we don't know what. And right out the gate, there's a lot of tension between Nash and Lena. And like I said, I'm liking it, but I'm not loving it. I feel like technically so far this is a slow burn, but there have just been moments that I have not connected to. I feel like when characters want each other immediately, even if nothing is physically happening between them, it takes away some of the believability. I don't know, at least for me. Like, how much can you really like someone emotionally if you don't really know them? I don't know. I think that's just a me thing. So I will say I am really loving seeing all the characters from book one. Okay guys, those are all my opinions so far. I am gonna get to reading and then I'll update you when I'm further in, close to the end. See you guys soon. I wanted to come on here real quick and update the video, and I have some pretty unfortunate updates for you guys. You would have seen that last night I continued reading Things We Hide from the Light. I was just in bed, and I kid you not, I literally like cannot go on. I really did not want to DNF this book because A, I'm reading it for this video, but B, I really would like to read the third book in this series. And the Knock 'em Out series is really the kind of book series where you have to read one book to go into the next. Like, they really do rely on each other. And so I've been struggling a lot with this book because I think when you don't connect with the characters, particularly the male love interest, it's really hard to connect with the book. And I've been thinking and reflecting on this a lot more because, you know, I wanted a good reason to stop reading this book essentially. And I think I figured out what I don't like about the book and just about the characters. Again, this is always no spoilers. We know that Nash is struggling with anxiety and depression as a byproduct of some things that happened in book one in this series. And all of that is so beyond valid. Like, I really feel for Nash's character. However, we have our female love interest, Lena, enter the story, and he comes to he ultimately puts this pressure on her to be there for him, and it's not like she has to, but there are these scenarios that come up that feel like control and power and like what's the word? And like independence, I guess is the best way to say that, is being taken away from Lena. And when people are so reliant and dependent on someone, to me that just like doesn't come across as healthy, especially because it's so early on between the two of them. I just feel like Lena is taking on so much of Nash's like burden, and it's like no pressure, but there is pressure. I don't know, I'm trying to like beat around the bush a little bit. If you've read this book, hopefully you know what I mean. And I can't get past those things. So I think that I am tragically going to be DNFing this book. I tried. I read like 300 pages of this book, which is like an entire other book. And I've been yapping here for a while, so I have one other update for you guys. I didn't want to just end this video on a DNF. I was like, girl, we are not doing that today. So I was thinking about some of the books that I was considering reading on earlier in the video. One of those being Powerful by Lauren Roberts, and this is the novella that comes after Powerless. And Reckless just came out, the second official book in the series, and so I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna buy the ebook on my Kindle. And last night I read 20% of Powerful, and it's really good. It's really sweet. We're following the main character from book one, Peyton's best friend, Adina, and it essentially details the events that we watched happen in Powerless, but from the perspective of Adina and pretty much how she got to where she got in book one, which again, I'm not gonna say what that is because I don't want to spoil anything for you guys. But yeah, I just wanted to jump in and let you guys know where I'm at because I just did not want to end this video on a DNF. So we're doing one more book, and I hope that satisfies all of y'all and the prompt for this video. So it's the next day now, and I promise that I really didn't mean to finish Powerful last night, but I did. It was just one of those nights where I absolutely just needed to veg in my bed. I feel like I have been running on 200% lately, and I just needed to lay down and sit there for hours and read, and I did. And Powerful was a little novella, and I meant to update you guys as I was reading it, but I didn't. And so I wanted to give my final review on Powerful and then do like the full wrap up for this video. So first things first, also, actually, this is the real first things first. My apartment is starting to look pretty sparse. This is my cute little TV stand because I am just getting rid of so many different things. So please don't mind the heinous background. We're just gonna ignore that. I ended up enjoying Powerful quite a lot. Like I said before, it follows the main character from book one, Powerless, her best friend Adina, and part of me, like, this was a great book to just fly through. It took me no time at all to get through it once I just sat down and read it. Like, I think I literally read 70% of it last night because it is a novella. I think I'm gonna give this novella a 3 stars. I think the writing was good. I liked everything about it, but again, I just can't fully connect with novellas because I find there's not enough time to flesh out characters, and I felt like things were moving too quickly and unrealistically, and I just felt like there were so much that needed to be explained and looked at, and I just feel like I could have liked it so much more if we had a full book. Keep in mind though, I think I'm the minority here. Like, most people love Powerless, they love Powerful, so I would still recommend it. I think you guys should pick it up. I'm gonna continue the series because I'm curious what's gonna happen. Yeah, that was my little review for Powerful. Now let's go back in time and review all the books that I read, or almost read, you know what I mean, got through for this video. First, we started with Queen of Shadows by Sarah J. Maas, and this book slapped. This was the big hit of the video. 5 stars, easy 5 stars. It's my 3rd new 5-star of the year, not including rereads. So just because we found this book, I count this video as a win, okay? Then I read Reckless by Elsie Silver, which is the 4th book in the Chestnut Spring series, and I'm deciding to give that one a 4.5, which, guys, that is the highest rating that I've given out in the Chestnut Spring series. So really enjoyed that one. 2 big hits in a row, actually. That's wild. I did not realize that until filming this clip. And then next I tried so hard, so hard, please trust me when I say that, to read Things We Hide from the Light by Lucy Score. And if at 300 pages I still wasn't enjoying it, I would go as far as to say I was trudging through it painfully. I just really did not want to make myself continue reading because there are literally another 300 pages after that. So I had to put it down, DNFing it. Don't have an official rating for you guys. And then the last book that I read was Powerful. Why is that so confusing? Powerless and Powerful. Powerful, novella by Lauren Roberts. It was cute, sweet, fun. I just felt like there were so many things that we needed more of. And like, because of that, I could not connect to it. With that said though, the ending still got me. Without saying anything, I was really feeling it right here. So imagine the pain I would have felt if this was a full-fledged book, and that I'm gonna give 3 stars. So we had 3 Kindle reads and 1 physical read, which I'm actually very happy about because buying books is not something I can afford to do right now because I'm moving all my books halfway across the country and I'm already dreading packing those up and having to deal with that. So yeah, I think that's gonna be it for this week's video. I did want to give a few quick shout outs to my lovely besties, aka you guys. Seriously, your comments absolutely make my day every single day. Like, you guys know, we have full-on conversations down there. Like, oh, I just have so much fun. First, I want to give a shout out to @MalloryMoreno4263, who it sounds like we have similar book taste, and there's nothing I love more than meeting people with similar book taste to me. I feel like it's such a unique thing to love all the same books, so this comment really just made me smile. And then next, I wanted to give a shout out to @Libraries and Lattes. This is actually a booktube channel. Her name is Chelsea, and I love her videos. You guys should totally go watch, subscribe. She reads a bunch of different genres. I feel like I really enjoy her fantasy reviews. She always like pulls quotes from books, and I love it. And I think it's so sweet, Chelsea, that you commented on my video, so thank you so much. I think that's gonna be it for today's video. Thank you so much for being here. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I hope you're having a great day and a great reading month, and I will see you all in the next one. Okay, bye.